Hello to all my dear friends. I hope you have started your day very well and that it continues to go well. We are discussing peace together, identifying and strengthening the activities that bring us peace, and recognizing the actions that disrupt our tranquility so that we can avoid them as much as possible. One of the factors that takes away our peace is when we do not achieve our desires. Many of our friends, when they apply the techniques of the law of attraction, practice various meditation methods, and engage in different activities to attain their wishes, feel a sense of disappointment and frustration when they do not reach those desires. They may think to themselves or even express to us that these laws do not work for them, that they lack the ability to perform these techniques, or that they do not possess the intelligence required to utilize these laws. This leads to a significant amount of self-sabotage or a sense of hopelessness stemming from the belief that God does not love them and that their wishes will not be fulfilled. Regardless of the specific consequences, this unfulfilled desire and inability to achieve their wishes results in a loss of peace for those who feel they have not reached their goals. Earlier in this channel, we discussed techniques for achieving desires or attracting what we want. Today, we want to talk about two techniques from Neville Goddard, who was a genius in this field and had a profound understanding of the workings of the universe. His writings provide truly valuable insights. However, before we delve into these two techniques from Neville Goddard, I want to highlight a point. One of the barriers that prevents us from achieving our desires, especially when those desires are material, is the upbringing and worldview instilled in us during our formative years. In any culture or religion we belong to, there has often been an idea ingrained in us since childhood that if you have material desires from God, you are not a good person. Materialism is not a good thing. Wealthy individuals are corrupt. They have obtained their wealth at the expense of others, and so on. All of this has led to a situation where, during meditation, when we enter an alpha state and are supposed to express our desires to God and the universe, we feel embarrassed if we want to express a material wish. Even if we initially intend to ask for something material while meditating, when the moment comes to declare that wish, we still feel shame and hesitation about bringing up that material desire. This is a significant barrier to the realization of our dreams and desires. We perceive material wishes as something shameful. Friends, in all religions, religious leaders have instilled these erroneous beliefs in people's minds. However, if you examine any religion, and I emphasize any religion, you will find that the leaders of that particular faith are among the wealthiest individuals in society. A study conducted years ago revealed that the wealthiest landowner on earth is the Catholic Church. When I asked my friends in class to guess different names, no one mentioned this one. I myself was unaware of this until I read about this research, and it was quite surprising for me too. The Catholic Church, due to the lands it possesses, lands donated by people or given by governments at very low costs or even for free, has become the wealthiest legal entity on earth, with more wealth than individual persons. Thus, those who criticize us for wanting wealth are among the wealthiest themselves. Whether intentionally or unintentionally, they provide us with misleading information. I do not wish to judge them or discuss those individuals. Rather, I want to address the incorrectness of this belief. We must accept that everything created in this world is meant for human well-being. and people should utilize it. That I gave an example to my friends. Imagine you invite a guest to your home whom you cherish so much that you prepare extensively for them. You arrange everything you think will make them happy, delicious foods you believe they will enjoy, and you spend considerable time preparing for this occasion. What has been created in this world has been made for the well-being of humans, and humans should utilize it. I gave an example to my friends. Imagine you invite a guest to your home, and that guest is so dear to you that you make extensive preparations for them. You arrange everything that you think will make them happy, providing delicious foods that you believe they will enjoy, and you spend a long time figuring out what they like to prepare for them. You set a lavish table for their reception. Now, imagine that your guest enters your home, and no matter how much you ask them to come to the table and help themselves, they do not do so because of the embarrassment they feel. You would certainly be upset with that guest because you have provided these amenities for them, and you want them to benefit and enjoy the time they spend with you because you love them. This is exactly how it is between God and His servants. All the wealth created in this world has been made for humans. It is true that humans should be mindful of the environment and respect other living beings, not taking away their right to life. I also oppose buying animal skins as decorations, clothes, bags, or shoes. However, let's set aside this aspect of the issue and look at it from other angles. All the gold on earth, all the crystals on earth, all the material resources on earth have been created for humans to enjoy their lives. But this enjoyment should have one limitation, that my enjoyment does not prevent others from enjoying, and I do not infringe upon anyone's rights for my own enjoyment or harm the environment and other living beings. That if I adhere to these conditions, I can use any wealth that exists in the world. It has indeed been created for me. If it is very difficult for us to ask God for our ordinary desires, we can pray with this phrasing, "O God, grant me that house," or "gift me that car," or "give me that job." The word gift from God helps us shape the understanding that everything we have is a gift, and we are merely stewards of all possessions from God. It also helps us not feel ashamed of asking God for material things. We should work on this issue and incorporate our material desires into this formula, concluding the matter with ourselves and achieving inner peace regarding this. That we need to reach a belief that if I want something from God, I am not a bad person. This desire is not evil. It is not driven by human greed or avarice. No, I desire this enjoyment from my life while not forgetting my spiritual goals. If I achieve wealth or possessions, I should also help others benefit as much as I can. All of this will ensure that this wealth is completely lawful and enjoyable for me. Now that we have removed this mental barrier and reached inner peace regarding our material desires, we can use various techniques to align our subconscious mind, acting as a barrier in achieving our desires, with ourselves. We have previously discussed different types of minds. The file is available on this channel. Friends who are unfamiliar with that topic can go listen to it. We talked about how our subconscious mind prevents us from achieving our desires and how it is conditioned by our family members, societal influences, our educational system, and the audiovisual media present in our culture, as well as the religious teachings we have received. These factors have created a barrier in our path to achieving our desires. Neville Goddard suggests two methods for us to achieve our desires, which are indeed unusual techniques, but there is logic behind them. The first method is one that in psychology is referred to as not climbing the ladder. The concept I want to convey is that when I focus on a particular subject, the universe responds to that focus in a contagious way. What does this mean? It means that when I use the phrase, "I am not climbing the ladder," the universe doesn't concern itself with whether this action is positive or negative. It simply considers the act of climbing the ladder and creates conditions in my life that facilitate that action. Let me explain this further with an example. We have previously discussed beliefs and how one of the reasons we may not achieve our desires is that we do not believe we can attain them. For instance, if I desire a specific car, I need to affirm my desire with positive statements, such as, "I am grateful for having this car." However, my analytical mind might question this affirmation, saying it's impossible. When I focus on having the car, my analytical mind often resists so strongly that the idea of owning the car doesn't penetrate my subconscious, preventing it from manifesting in reality. To bypass this analytical resistance, I must focus on my desire in a way that distracts my analytical mind. When we talk about the alpha technique, we are doing just that, placing our mind in alpha brainwave states to bypass analytical thinking. Even with subliminal files, they work in a similar way by bypassing the analytical mind. Here, Neville Goddard aims to circumvent the analytical mind and eliminate its resistance. He suggests that when your desire is for something you don't have, like a car, you should express gratitude for not having it and reflect on the positive aspects of that absence. For example, I might think about how not having a car allows me to walk and enjoy my surroundings, avoid gas expenses, and eliminate worries about parking or accidents. By focusing on these positive aspects, my analytical mind has no resistance because I am discussing the absence rather than the presence of the car. The universe then responds by shifting its focus from absence to presence, effectively bringing my desire closer to reality. Ultimately, this technique demonstrates how we can utilize the workings of the universe to attract our material desires by reframing our thoughts and beliefs. You can apply this technique to any material desire you have. Use this technique if your desire is not currently present in your life. Find reasons to be grateful for the absence of that desire in your life, and this gratitude will help you focus on that issue. Your analytical mind will be bypassed, and at the same time, the universe will interact with your desire as a master. In this way, the belief will form in your subconscious that you can achieve this desire without focusing on attaining it. Once this desire enters your subconscious and you reach this belief, it will manifest in the universe. This is the first technique that Neville Goddard employs. The second technique that Neville Goddard uses relates to the feeling of worthiness. This sense of worthiness that I am talking about is somewhat different from the religious discussion I mentioned earlier. Many times, we do not feel worthy of our own desires. For example, if I want a certain type of car, like a Tiggo 7, I might feel that I do not deserve to have it. All of us humans often revert to our upbringing and culture, which instills a sense of unworthiness within us. For instance, when we see a beautiful villa by the beach, we may not feel worthy of owning such a villa. We might look at it with envy, but few people find themselves in that situation and feel they deserve to have such a villa. In our culture, we have a saying referring to better than us. In the past, it was said that non-organic beings would appear if their names were mentioned, and there was a term used for them called better than us. This expression gradually entered our verbal culture and was applied to people we consider above ourselves in terms of social class or income. For instance, when I say that villa belongs to someone better than us, I mean people whose income or social status is higher than mine. Such toxic phrases have entered our culture and caused us to feel unworthy of many of our desires. Neville Goddard offers a way to overcome this by suggesting that you consider your desire along with something greater than it. For example, if I want a Tiggo 7, I might think of a Benz, which is several times more expensive than the Tiggo 7. When I pray for my desire, I say that even though I feel worthy of a Benz, I am asking for a Tiggo 7 right now. When you meditate and reach the state where you want to declare your desires, or whenever during the day you reflect on your desires, by considering something larger than your desire, your focus on your desire diminishes, making it easier for you to achieve it. That feeling of unworthiness prevents us from expecting our desires to come true. Previously, we shared a file on this channel regarding one of the laws of physics called the law of attraction, which states that two charged particles are drawn towards each other in such a way that the smaller particle is always attracted to the larger one. If I consider myself larger than my desire, that desire, being the smaller particle compared to me, will always be attracted to me. Neville Goddard utilizes this principle as well and suggests bringing a greater desire into your mind relative to your own desire. If it's a car, think of a better car. If it's a house, think of a better house. If it's a romantic partner, think of a better partner. If it's an organizational position, think of a higher position. Whatever you consider as a desire, keep something greater in mind. When you pray for your desire, say that even though I deserve that greater thing, I am asking for this right now. This reasoning aligns perfectly with logic. Your desire gradually appears smaller and smaller before you, allowing you to attain it more easily. I really liked these two techniques from Neville Goddard and found them very logical and easy to implement. I wanted to share these two with you as well. I hope you use these techniques to improve the quality of your life and gain great benefits from them. May you always be happy in every moment of your life.